Doubles and Coffee, part 3 of 10 of how we, the citizens, allow PNM to do wrong, think wrong, perpetrate wrong, and then make it seem right. Right now, Vincent Nelson, former Queen's Counsel, now King's Counsel, the prostitute lawyer who Faris Arawi and Keith Rowley paid millions, tens of millions of dollars in order for him to concoct a story against political opponents, to usurp the authority, the constitutional authority of the DPP, to sign an indemnity promising the moon and the stars to a man who has the integrity of a mollusk. A man who, let's remind you, gave a detailed opinion paid for by you, the taxpayers, against Malcolm Jones and the PNM with the World GTL, the wastage of £100 million of your money. And that case was proceeding apace. And then the PNM came in. And that same very Vincent Nelson gave a short paragraph out of the blue, unrequested, unsolicited, that, oh, the case ain't good. And the PNM announced ahead of time, 2 days before, to the then Minister of Communications, that the case is weak and it's going to be dropped. And then boom, Vincent Nelson's little paragraph saying, oh, that case that I previously said was very strong in a detailed, intelligent assessment, analysis, and opinion. Now that case weak, you could withdraw the case from Malcolm Jones. You know who was Malcolm Jones' lawyer back in the day? Stuart Small, Penny Young. And you know who was in the office of the Attorney General as the PNM took Malcolm Jones out of court on the advice of Vincent Nelson? Stuart Small, Penny Young. And then Faris Arawi signed an indemnity with this same man who they owed tens of millions of dollars. He had sued the state for his fees. And they negotiated and settled with Faris Arawi. And you know, when you settle for fees, you know, because you don't want to go through the whole long process and you want some money and you need some money, you normally take a little lower amount because you're getting your money earlier. Well, Faris Arawi and the PNM paid him the full amount. And then he withdrew the case and settled it. They signed an indemnity telling him, hey, anything you confess to, we will keep it secret. We won't tell the United Kingdom authorities. We won't tell the tax authorities of the United Kingdom of how much we pay you, why we pay you. We will pay your foreign attorneys with taxpayers' money. All of this signed under the hand of the Minister of Puya now, who was the then Attorney General Faris Arawi. And when it came out in public domain, and senior counsel close to Rowley and the PNM said the indemnity, the Attorney General had the authority to negotiate with a criminal, a witness in a criminal matter, which anyone who could read the Constitution understands is the sole purview of the DPP. The DPP knew nothing about it, knew nothing about the discussions, the negotiations that PNM was carrying on with a prostitute lawyer to tell lies on 2 UNC former officials. But now, when the indemnity collapsed, Vincent Nelson said, if all you ain't uphold that indemnity and continue to pay, and you all told the authorities on me, and one of their small pin men had to be a witness now because he admitted that he breached the indemnity signed by his other colleague Faris Arawi and went and notified the UK authorities. So Vincent Nelson said, hey, y'all are in breach. Trinidad and Tobago is in breach. I'm not giving any evidence that I agreed to because of the sweetheart $1 million deal that you gave me, this indemnity. And the entire case collapsed. Because the case didn't have no account, no check, no land deed, no money pass, no video, no audio. All it had was Vincent Nelson, a man who had been proven to be able to be pliable, to change his opinion at a women fancy as the Caribbean breeze blew through his air hole. And now, you the taxpayers, the case has now begun against you. Well, you are represented by the PNM, by Attorney General Lymore, by Keith Christopher Rowley. Well, Vincent Nelson is suing the state, which means you, for $100 million for breach of a contract, for breach of the indemnity signed by your government PNM officials. And you know what is the defense of your PNM government officials? Hey, that indemnity that we signed, that we negotiate, that we got senior counsel of the PNM to tell us it's legal and legitimate and we could do it and we could get involved in a criminal matter that is supposed to be left with the DPP. Hey, that was illegal. We could not do that because that was illegal. We broke the law and therefore the indemnity was never a real contract because we were acting in bad faith and therefore we don't owe you $100 million. That's what your money is jumping up on. The wrong of the PNM. And quietly, secretively, the case has begun. And your ministers, your PNM ministers have to go and give evidence. But they don't want to make it public. Stuart Smallpin Young have to go on the witness stand. Faris Al-Rawi have to go on the witness stand and be cross-examined. And they are the ones putting forward a case that what they did was illegal and therefore Vincent Nelson shouldn't get his money, which when they lost, you have to pay. That is PNM. That is corruption. That is what they do. And the media has just allowed that NELSONGATE fiasco to continue unabated. And them fellas is still ministers. Them fellas still drawing a pay from you. Them fellas still in the cabinet. Them fellas is still MPs. You all want to vote for that? And Rowley talking with arrogance? Vincent Nelson, King's Counsel, otherwise known as Chambers in Copacabana. Bless, that is PNM.